YouTube, welcome. This is Buster here at Buster Plays. Today we're rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before we get into it, we've just hit over 80 subscribers. Our goal for our kind of first year, what I wanted to hit by the end of the year, was 100. So we're super close. Be sure to subscribe so you can see all my future rebuilds and future content I got coming out. And also, let's try to hit my highest like goal at 26 likes. I think my highest is 25. So be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. Now, let's hop in. Let's rebuild this Jacksonville Jaguars team. All right, we are starting at week 5. Obviously, everybody knows Jacksonville did beat the Colts in this game in a shootout where Joe Flacco threw all over the team. This is the lineup. It's not a terrible offense. We're going to put Brian Thomas Jr. at the wide receiver 2 spot, as he has shown a lot of he's got unlimited potential, as he's shown the last 2 weeks to really take over games and be the leading receiver on this team. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know why he's still a superstar dev. He throws terrible picks all the time. He, I think, loses them more games than he wins them. Travis Etienne, Brandon Sheriff, who is getting older, we won't see for long, and Evan Ingram. We also got Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis, 2 other decent additions to this Jacksonville team. Defensively, you got Jonathan Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, who has played, I think, pretty good this year, Devon Hamilton, and then the rest of this team. You have Devin Lloyd and Cisco. The rest of this team needs a lot of help, though. I think they have quite a few injuries. You don't have that many great players, so we're going to have to build in the draft and the free agency. We may make a couple trades to try to bring some people in early. Now, we are going to go ahead. Well, actually, let's see who we need to re-sign or who we want to re-sign. We have $39 million. Andre Cisco, he's only 24, so he could develop. And this is a cheap enough deal that we'll be able to see if he does. And we're going to have to offer him a little bit more. Cam Robinson, only 28 as a left tackle, though. If we can get him for this, yeah, we'll do that. Mac Jones can go. Brandon Sheriff. He's superstar dev, but you can't decline the 1-year offer for him. And then we're really only going to try to keep Andre Cisco around, and everybody else can walk. All right, we're at the midseason. We're 1-6, which is not good looking. Does Brian Robinson have a dev trait revealed yet? He does not. We didn't have any on defense. All right, statistically, Trevor Lawrence is playing how he is in real life. Only 4 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,400 yards. Travis Etienne, 490 and 7. He has that potential, but fighting the ankle injury that he currently is, I don't see it happening. Brian Thomas, 450 and 2 touchdowns. Christian Kirk, 379 and a touchdown. Gabe Davis, 255 and 0 touchdowns. We might try to move on from him. Leading the team in tackles is Antonio Johnson. Trayvon Walker in tackles for loss, and Trayvon Walker in sacks. How is Josh Allen not getting any sacks? And then 2 interceptions, one for Darnold Robbie, one for Darnell Savage. I don't understand where our team is, but we're going to take a look. All right, well, that's how the team's performing. Not great, not a big deal for us, though. We're going to go ahead and get to the playoffs. I'll probably stop along the way, do some focus scouting. If there is anything important, I will show you. And I lied, because before that, we're going to make sure we get Andre Cisco re-signed. We don't have a lot of money, as we just paid Trevor Lawrence a pile. But we get Andre Cisco re-signed. So let's get to the playoffs. All right, we are at the end of the year. We finished 6-11. Look at this AFC South division, though. Houston 7-10, Indy 7-10, Tennessee 7-10. We were 6-11. I don't think I'm just hoping we have a top 5 pick. Um, but there's a receiver I really want. I want to add to this receiving core and put points on the board with this offense. Now, I believe we have to fill a hole. We don't. I don't know why it's there. I could potentially get rid of some of those guys, but our team is not great defensively, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, let's see what Brian Thomas's dev trait is, because I don't think I've seen it in Madden so far. Probably a star. It's a star. He's playing up to an 80 overall. I still want him over Gabe Davis in the lineup. Let's take a look at how this team performed this year. Trevor Lawrence, 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Not a great year out of Sunshine. Travis Etienne, though, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Tank Bigsby with 6 of his own. Receiving, Christian Kirk, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. Brian Thomas, 985 and 4. Gabe Davis, 659 and 4. Let up a lot of sacks out of Cam Robinson, who we just re-signed. Devin Lloyd leading the team in tackles. Roy Robertson Harris in TFLs. He might get a dev trait. Holy crap. Trevon Walker behind him with 13, and John Allen Hines with 10. Josh Hines Allen, leading the team with 9 sacks, 7.5 for Trevon Walker, 6.5 for Robertson Harris, and 3 for Eric Armstead. 2 picks out of Chad Muma, 1 for a pile of other guys. Did we get any defensive touchdowns? No defensive touchdowns. All right, let's get to the end of the year, see who the Super Bowl winner is, and see how we can improve this team. All right, it is the yearly awards, and we have nobody in the running for MVP. Nobody in the running for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, we got nobody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody on the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brian Thomas Jr. is at 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody on the list. Best Quarterback, not on the list. Best Running Back, Etienne is at 6. Best Wide Receiver, not on the list. Best Offensive Lineman, Brandon Sheriff at 5. Best Defensive Lineman, Roy Robertson Harris at 9. Best Linebacker, not on the list. Best Defensive Back, not on the list. And Best Kicker, Little is at 9. All right, we have an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. Let's see who takes home the Lombardi. And the Super Bowl winner is the Kansas City Chiefs. Derek Nottie winning the Super Bowl MVP. Of course, we knew all the award winners. With $17.9 million in salary, we're going to get to the free agency, see if we can make a decent signing. Before we get to that, I did want to check our dev traits. Evan Ingram goes down to star. Somehow Trevor Lawrence doesn't go down after that bad season, but not a big deal. Defensively, Devon Hamilton and Roy Robert Smith did not go up in dev. And Eric Armstead lost his, so he will get benched. We've got to bring cornerbacks in. Maybe that's what I should have focus scouted, is corners. Still got some time to do so, but all right, these are the only 2 players we're targeting in the free agency. Paulson Adebo, who I do not believe will get, and Kader Kuho. He wants to be here. He's a scheme fit. He's young enough in a star dev. Let's see who we get. We got Kader. Okay, so we did not get Paulson Adebo. He went to the LA Rams. See if there's anybody else here that's kind of interesting. We get 2 cornerbacks to add to the roster. If I remember this draft class correctly, the cornerbacks aren't great. So let's get to the draft. All right, it's NFL draft time, and we are going to trade back. All right, we're trading back to pick 16 with Washington. We get pick 16. They get pick 4. We also get a 3rd round this year and a 3rd round next year to try to make this team a little bit stronger. All right, let's get to our pick. Now, this guy is going to be a normal dev player. Nick Fields, a left outside linebacker. We need one terribly. Welcome to Jacksonville. Ranked at 17, got him at 16, and he's hidden. Let's get to round 2, pick 4. There is a corner in Marquise Toon. A round 1 talent. We're bringing him in. We need help at the cornerback position. Ranked at 6. Normal dev, but a high enough overall, he's going to see the field. Let's go to round 3. Sergio Stroud, he does not look good, but he is fast. He's a good enough athlete. A awareness, B man coverage, A zone coverage. He's a good middle linebacker. Ranked at 77. We got him at 68. Normal dev, but he's a backup middle linebacker. All right, we should have pick 80 as well. Let's see what other players are around. All right, it's draft recap time. Nick Fields a 75 overall. Marquise Tuna 78. Estrada a 71. And then a bunch of 60 overall players. Not a great look on our end. All right, this is what's happening. Before we get into the lineup, we are trading away Gabe Davis. I'm taking this trade right here. Mike Hall Jr. in a 5th round. He's 22, 74, star dev. He will probably start. Make sure there aren't any other, good... Javon Hargrave, but he's 30. Yeah, we're taking Mike Hall Jr. What do you mean? All right, we're not taking Mike Hall Jr. I think it's the troubles on our end. We're going to take Ivan Pace. All right, so let's go over the lineup. Trevor Lawrence, of course, still here, still a superstar dev. Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Javier Waters, Brian Thomas Jr. The offensive line is the same and aging. We need to get some better players in there. Of course, we have Evan Ingram as well. Defensively, not much has changed. You add Nick Fields. Antonio Johnson's going to get the start because he's younger than Darnell Savage and a hidden dev. We added Cater Kohu, Trey Brown, and Toon, our rookie cornerback, who will hopefully develop nicely and maybe get a defensive player of the year or a star dev just from playing really well, we hope. Traded Gabe Davis for Ivan Pace Jr. and a pick. Ivan Pace always develops well, so hopefully he continues that, and we have a really good linebacking core now and don't have to worry about replacing anybody. Now, on to the season. We'll see you at the midseason to do our contract negotiations, scouting, and all the rest. Okay, so we're at the midseason. We have $64 million. We need to do some renegotiating. Travis Etienne, we want you to stay, so you're going to stay. Thank you. Christian Kirk, what am I doing a 2-year deal on? Okay, he wants to be around longer. I don't agree. Devin Lloyd, I just don't want to pay. That's an absurd amount of money. We might just let him go. Evan Ingram can walk. Ivan Pace, though. Ivan Pace goes. Ivan Pace stays. Devin Lloyd probably walks. Devin Duvernay, Muma, Brandon Sheriff can go. Mitch Morse can go. And we'll probably accept Anton Harrison's option. Now, I'm not sold on all that. I might keep both of these players around. We'll see. At the midseason, though, we are 5-2. We're playing really well. Let's take a look at our stats. Oh, Christian Kirk, the leading receiver in yards. Trevor Lawrence, 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns, 12 interceptions already is insane. Rushing, ETN has not been the lead back. He must have gotten hurt, but 214 and 3 touchdowns, 276 and 3 for Tank Bigsby. Receiving-wise, Christian Kirk, 599, 4 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 389 and 4 touchdowns. And Javier Watts seems to be moved because I started him in the slot. Defensively, Cater Kohu leading the team in tackles. Mason Smith in tackles for loss. And Josh Allen in sacks. Eric Armstead behind him. Travon Walker behind him. None from our rookie, it seems, who probably isn't getting playing time. Marquise Toon, the rookie, with 2 interceptions. 2 from Tyson Campbell and 1 from a pile of others. I have the adjust the lineup settings off, but Madden hates when you try to do that and does its own thing. So a lot of these, well, Travon Walker's starting over. Why is Mason Smith getting a majority of the sacks? I don't know. Foyesade is injured. Nick Fields does not have his dev trait yet, but the rest of the team looks really good, developing nicely. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to the playoffs. I'm going to stop, do some focus scouting, stuff like that. Hopefully we make it at 5-2. We lead the division, currently tied with Houston at 5-2. But we are atop the division. We're the 3 seed in the AFC. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully we make the playoffs here in year 2. All right, so we did make the wild card round, going 9-8. Had a drastic fall off. Finished the year 4-6. That's not what you like to see. Let's take a look at our lineup. See if we know our dev traits. Javier Waters is a superstar dev. I knew that coming into it. It's the same draft we've used before. Nick Fields has not got his dev trait yet. How many snaps off is he? 9. Okay, so he should get it. He's a power rusher. I'm upset to why he's not getting sacks, but that's a whole different story. Now, Toon has been better than Kader Kohu, but I don't know that I want to move him out of the slot. We might leave things as they are because at the midseason, he had good interception numbers. Trevor Lawrence still throwing a boatload of interceptions. 3,800 yards, 36 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Travis Etienne, 969, 9 touchdowns. Of course, we know he missed some time. Receiving Christian Kirk, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Brian Thomas, 915 and 8. Evan Ingram with 8 touchdowns. Javier Waters, 486 and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Devin Lloyd leading the team in tackles. Josh Hines Allen in TFLs. Eric Armstead right behind him. And Josh Hines Allen leading the team in sacks with 12. Travon Walker with 8. Eric Armstead with 5.5. Our rookie had 0. Marquise Toon leading the team in interceptions as a rookie with 5. 3 from Foyesade Oluokun, 3 from Antonio Johnson, 3 from Tyson Campbell, 2 from Devin Lloyd, and 1 for a handful of others. Did we have any defensive touchdowns? It doesn't look like it. Javier Waters got a new ability. Now, we're not going to hop into this game. We're just going to simulate it. Let's see if we beat... Oh, let's see where we finished. We finished 2nd, just under Houston. 6th in the AFC. Let's see if we can take down the Ravens. We lose to Baltimore 35-23. Not as bad as I thought. Trevor Lawrence with no interceptions. 202 and 2 touchdowns from Trevor Lawrence. 23 and a touchdown from ETN, 76 and a touchdown from Javier Waters, 70 and a touchdown from Christian Kirk. Defensively, Cisco leading the way in sacks, Josh Hines Allen in TFLs, Travon Walker tied with them. No sacks and 1 interception from Marquise Toon. He just finds the ball. Let's get to the Super Bowl, see who's playing in it. Before we get to the Super Bowl, let's take a look at the yearly awards. We got nobody in the MVP race. Coach of the Year, we're not in that race either. AFC, Rashee Rice winning Offensive Player of the Year. We have nobody on the list. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody on the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Javier Waters at 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Marquise Toon at 2. That is a bummer. Best quarterback, Trevor Lawrence at 8 somehow. Best running back, not on the list as ETN got hurt. Best receiver, not on the list. Best offensive lineman, not on the... Brandon Sheriff at 4. Best defensive lineman, Hines Allen at 7. Best linebacker, not on the list. Best defensive back, Marquise Toon at 8 as a rookie. Best kicker, not on the list. Now, we did end up losing to a Super Bowl team in the Baltimore Ravens as they face the Packers. Let's see who wins. Oh, Nick Fields is a superstar dev. Antonio Johnson goes up to a superstar dev. That's awesome. Foyasad loses his. I would have liked to have seen Marquise Toon gain a dev trait. Just a little bit of one. Offensively, nobody goes well. Javier Waters goes down. All right, so we need tight end, center, right guard. All right, we're here at the draft. We're going to try to move up to 17 with, the Jets. Where are we at? I looked at the wrong mock draft. You know, we might try to move up to 15. We are at 20. All right, we're giving up a lot of late round picks just to try to get up 5 spots for some reason. Nobody offered anything like that to me when I tried to move down. But we get up to pick 15. Let's get there. Hopefully our guy's still there. Oscar Gonzalez, a lot of A to C's and A's, and a really good tight end. Welcome to Jacksonville. We lost Evan Ingram. Ranked at 10, got him at 15, hidden dev, 6'4", 22 years old. He's going to be incredible. Now we're going to go to our second round pick. We're going Mike Farrell. He's a round 1 to 2 talent. Ranked at 38, got him at 52, hidden dev, our future defensive tackle. All right, there's one right guard on the board. That's who we're going to go after. Ronnie Vickers. Ranked at 34, got him at 70. He is normal dev, though. Peter Sherman looks decent. We're going to give him a shot. Ranked at 85, got him at 84. Another normal dev. It may be a really rough year for Trevor Lawrence, but we're going to go ahead and get out of this one. All right, it is draft recap time. Oscar Gonzalez, a 76 overall. Mike Farrell, a 73. Ronnie Vickers, a 74. Peter Sherman, a 70. We got Marcus Dubose. He was on my favorites list. He was also hidden dev. Okay, so we got some hidden dev players. And then after 5 70-plus overall players is good out of a draft, no matter how you cut it. The normal devs out of the linemen is not what you want to see. But we're going to get these guys plugged in. We'll see you week 1. All right, this is the team going into year 3, of course. Got Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Brian Thomas, Javier Waters. The offensive line is a little rough. We brought in Gonzalez, a hidden dev tight end. Defensively, Farrell now already up to a 76 overall, a hidden dev. He was a 73 when we drafted him. And the rest of the team's looking really good. Or not, I wouldn't say really good, but good. Marquise Toon, a second-year cornerback, already our CB1. The D-line's in a good spot. We got 2 superstar devs in Nick Fields, Antonio Johnson. Middle linebacker spot could use some improvement, but I expect Ivan Pace this year to really step up. Foyasad's starting to regress a little bit, but we still have some time. We should be able to replace him. Andre Cisco developing pretty good. Tyson Campbell and Kader Kohu developing nicely. They are good enough as a CB2 and a CB3. Now, let's get to the midpoint. We will see you there. All right, we're at the midseason. We have a lot of money and a lot of people to re-sign, so let's get to it. Antonio Johnson, he's a superstar dev at 24 years old. He's staying around. Travon Walker, also another young piece we'd like to keep around. Kader Kohu has developed nicely enough. We didn't pay him a lot to come on board, but we might pay him for 3 years. He's got the star dev. Anton Harrison is developing as a right tackle. We'll go ahead and pay him to be here for the rest of the rebuild. Why not? Ezra Cleveland, 28. I'd like him to play a little bit better, but at 28, I think we can win with him. Cam Robinson can go. We will find a new left tackle. Thank you. And the rest of everybody else can go too. We'll accept Brian Thomas's option. All right, well, we might not. We might just re-sign him. We have 81 mil after all that. Now, we have a receiver breakout as we sit at 3-3. Javier Waters, 4 catches and 100-plus receiving yards. That's what we're going to stick with. He's got the potential. And I might play this game just to make sure he gets it. Let's take a look at how the team's playing at the midseason. Trevor Lawrence, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I don't know if we'll ever get those high interception numbers away from him. Travis Etienne, 301 and 3 touchdowns. Parker Washington, for whatever reason, is leading the way in receiving yards with 311 and 3 touchdowns. Oscar Gonzalez with 303 and a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr., 297 and 2 touchdowns. Javier Waters, 259 and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Ivan Pace leading the team in tackles. Josh Hines, Allen, and TFLs. Eric Armstead in sacks. Ivan Pace right behind him. That's weird. Nick Fields, our second-year player, with 1. 3 interceptions from Tyson Campbell. 2 from Cater Kohu. 1 from Ivan Pace. 1 from Marquise Toon. 1 from Antonio Johnson, and 1 from Ed Wharton. While at the midseason, we noticed Vickers developing nicely, even though he's a normal dev. Sherman, not so much. Gonzalez is a star dev only. We would have liked to seen a little bit more. Defensively, we don't know Farrell's, or Farrell, however you want to say it. We do not know his dev trait. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to the playoffs. Hopefully, we make it. We have, no one's truly out of the running in our division as Tennessee leads the way, which is odd. No one's out of the running. We're going to go ahead and get to playoffs. I'll stop, do the focus scouting, and we will see you at the end of it. All right, we are at the end of year 3. This is how we performed. Trevor Lawrence, 3,800 yards, 32 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Travis Etienne, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns receiving. Javier Waters leading the team, 996, 4 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 888 and 5. Parker Washington, 868 and 13 touchdowns. I don't want to talk about it, the sacks we gave up. Ivan Pace leading the team in tackles. Josh Hines, Allen in tackles for loss with 20. But Eric Armstead, for some reason, who shouldn't be seeing the field, leading the team in sacks. Trevon Walker right behind him with 8.5. Josh Hines, Allen with 6.5. Mason Smith even. All these guys that were not ahead of our rookies in the lineup, getting all these sacks and getting all this playing time over them. Now, Tyson Campbell, 5 interceptions. Cater Kohu with 3. Marquise Toon with 2. And Antonio Johnson with 2. 1 for 4 others, the same it was at half. Did we get any touchdowns? No, we did not. Now we do squeak into the playoffs. 9-8 Jacksonville against the 12-5 Baltimore Ravens. Believe it or not, the same it was as last year. Let's take a look, see if we know our dev traits. Now, why Parker Washington is starting over him, I do not know, but we knew Gonzalez was a star dev. Our offensive linemen developing kind of nicely to be at the end of their rookie year. Farrell is a superstar dev player, which is awesome. Our linebacking core looks good. Everybody everywhere looks good. We just need like another year to develop. All right, I had Farrell over him and I had Fields over him, but Madden hates me, so they changed my lineup for me, even though I have it turned off. Now, we're not going to hop in as it is not year 4 or year 5 yet. Let's see if this sim will help us out a little bit and let us beat the Baltimore Ravens. All right, another one-score game just as it was last year. And Trevor Lawrence not turning the ball over, but only 180 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Travis Etienne with 78 rushing yards. Parker Washington leading the team with 64 receiving yards and a touchdown. Javier Watts, 36 and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Foyesade leading the team in tackles, tied with Ivan Pace for 10, which is a lot. Ivan Pace tied with Josh Hines-Allens in TFLs with 1. No sacks, only 1 interception from Kader Kohu, but not enough to take down the mighty Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully we get it next year. Yearly awards, we're not in the MVP running. We are not in the Coach of the Year running, although Matt LaFleur, who has been shunned from Coach of the Year several times, finally wins it. Deservingly so. Offensive Player of the Year, nobody there. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody there. Offensive Rookie, Gonzalez at 4. Defensive Rookie, not on the list. Best Quarterback, Trevor Lawrence at 7. Best Running Back, ETN at 8. Best Wide Receiver, Parker Washington at 9. Best Offensive Line, not on the list. Best Defensive Line, not on the list. Best Linebacker, not on the list. Best Defensive Back, Campbell at 10. And Best Kicker, somehow the Titans have 2 kickers ahead of us. It is a Green Bay Chiefs Super Bowl. Let's see who wins it. And the 2026 Super Bowl champion are the Kansas City Chiefs, beating the Green Bay Packers 42-21. Let's see who won it last year. Oh, Green Bay got it last year with Jordan Love. Huh, that's cool. I would take that. Packers have an Offensive Rookie of the Year with James Byrd. Patrick Mahomes is your Super Bowl MVP. We have $105 million. Let's get to the re-sign period. See if we're going to re-sign anybody. And if not, we're taking this 105 into the free agency. All right, so we accepted Brian Thomas's 5th-year option. Cam Robinson, if we have to re-sign him in the free agency, we're going to look for a better option. Same with the rest of everybody else. Before we get any further, let me know down in the comments if there is a team you want to see me rebuild. All right, this is who we're targeting in the free agency. All interior offensive linemen. Frank Ragnow, Joe Thuney, and Laramie Tunsil. Well, Laramie Tunsil's the left tackle, but we got to replace Cam Robinson and Ryan Stonehouse. We're leading on all these guys. Let's see if we get them. Build this offensive line out. And we get everybody. Frank Ragnow, Joe Thuney, Ryan Stonehouse, and Laramie Tunsil. An incredible free agency period. We still have $36 million left over. I'm going to plug these guys in. We're going to get to the draft. Let's try to bring in some more young players. Welcome to the draft. We got to move up with Cleveland to get to pick 14. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's probably overpay. I mean, way overpay. But we're keeping pick 22. So we're going to go to pick 14. There is a right outside linebacker that we are going to pick. Okay, he's around 1 to 2 talent. He's a speed rusher. DeMarcus Harris, welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was 41. We got him at 14, and he's normal dev. I hate my life. Now, we also want to go to pick 18. So we're only moving up 2 spots, but it hopefully gets us the player we want. All right, Josh Bullard, it is. I don't feel confident in it. But ranked at 46, got him at 18. Another normal dev player. This draft is a shit show. This left tackle kind of solves the tackle problem we have and a 3rd-round pick. Think I'm going to take that instead. We don't need Mason Smith. All right, we're in year 4. This is what the team is looking like. Bullard was a 76. I guess I forgot to do the draft recap. Bullard's a 76 overall. Brian Thomas is at an 85. Javier Waters at a 78. Trevor Lawrence playing up to a 88 and 88. ETN up to a 94. The rest of the team looks pretty good. Defensively, though, we do have some issues. We definitely have some issues. Not a lot, though. We have 2 players in the whole lineup under an 80 overall, so we should be fairly good. Harris, the rookie, hopefully he gets a rookie of the year in a dev trait. Estrada, though, not going to see the field as much as Ivan Pace. We're at the mid-season and we have $0. It might be time. Well, we can let those 2 guys go and replace them in the draft, honestly. We don't even need to replace them at all. Everybody else is kind of, well, I say that. We need to replace Cisco in the draft. Patrick Paul can go. Actually, let's see if we can squeeze a trade for him. Yeah, I think we take the 22-year-old star dev or superstar dev tight end. That gives us -16. The only player we really have to worry about signing, though, we need a kicker and we need a free safety, which we can target in the draft. Although it is year 4, we are at the midpoint and we are 6-1. I have 0 worries about this team. We're putting up points. 4th in offensive points, 2nd in rush yards, 9th in opponents' points per game. So I have nothing to complain about. Travis Etienne leading the league in rushing, not just the team. Trevor Lawrence finally keeping those interceptions down, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Travis Etienne, 621 and 7 touchdowns. Receiving, Brian Thomas Jr., 437 and 2 touchdowns. Oscar Gonzalez with 361 and 3 touchdowns. Sheldon Bonner with 330 and 0. That might be who we just added, though, so I'm not going to buy much stock in that. Josh Bullard, 260 and 5 touchdowns. Javier Waters, not really getting the job done. Defensively, Ivan Pace leading the team in tackles. Josh Allen Hines in TFLs with Travon Walker right behind him. And Allen Hines in sacks with 4. Travon Walker tied with 4. 4 interceptions for Marquise Toon, 1 for Cater Kohu, and 1 for Tyson Campbell. This has got to be the year that Marquise Toon gets his dev trait. Now, we are going to go to the playoffs. I will stop and do some focus scouting and try to find us a new free safety. Other than that, though, we will see you at the playoffs. We are at the end of the regular season in year 4. Trevor Lawrence, 3,800 yards, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Travis Etienne, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 953 and 8. Oscar Gonzalez, 735 and 6. Javier Waters, 701 and 3. And even Shaden Manning with 7 touchdowns. The rookie with 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Ivan Pace leading the team in tackles. Josh Hines Allen in TFLs with Travon Walker, 4 behind him. Travon Walker, though, leading the team in sacks with 11.5. Josh Hines Allen with 8.5. And Marcus Dubose with 4.5. Now, 7 interceptions out of Marquise Toon. That is a career high. 4 from Cater Kohu, 2 from Ivan Pace, 2 from Andre Cisco, 1 from Tyson Campbell, and 1 from Antonio Johnson. Did we have a defensive touchdown? We did not. 7 interceptions. You don't get a defensive touchdown. Huh. Now, if you take a look, Travis Etienne did lead the league in rushing. We didn't. Oh, Marquise Toon tied for 2nd for interceptions. And we finished the year 13-4. We are the number 1 seed, so we do get the bye week. And we get to go ahead and head to the divisional round of the playoffs. Let's take a look at our lineup, see how we're playing, see what overall boost we have. Trevor Lawrence playing up to a 92. Etienne playing up to a 99. Our receivers are playing up. Offensive line playing up. Redding might get the start here. We'll keep Vickers in. We've been winning. Why would we change it? Gonzalez up to an 87. Defensively, Harris, the rookie, up to a 79. Fields up to an 86. Antonio Johnson up to an 87. Campbell up to an 87. Marquise Toon up to a 90. Josh Hines-Allen up to a 94. Pharrell is hurt, but Dubose playing up to a 77. And Travon Walker up to an 89. This is, and I mean this, by far not one of the best teams I've built. I've built a lot better teams, a lot higher overall teams, but to have this record means something. All right, it is year 4, so we will hop into this game. We play a division rival in the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is a team we should beat, but you never know with the Colts. Let's see what happens. All right, we are going to the end of the game. Let's see how it plays out, as we are on the board first, but the Colts answer back. Can our offense keep it going? We cannot. The Colts does. 14-14, 14-17, 17-21, 24-21. Let's keep it up offense. 31-31, 31-34, 34-34. Let's play the offense. We do have the ball. They started with it in overtime, so I feel confident with what we got going on, as Travis Etienne has nowhere to go. I've had Waters before. I will streak him and just bomb it, because he will beat everybody. Oh, and he was open. We didn't have the time. All right, let's just get part of it back here. We'll go for it on 4th down and get it if we have to. All right, yep, we're there. 4th and 8. Waters is on the outside. I want him. I want Brian Thomas to run it in. Oh, Waters caught it. He gets tackled, but he caught it. And Trevor Lawrence is going to scramble for the touchdown in overtime, and that will end it. Well, we took down the Colts in the divisional round. Trevor Lawrence, 302 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing Etienne with 62 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence with the rushing touchdown in overtime to seal it. Receiving, Waters leading the way with 92 receiving yards. Brian Thomas Jr. with 79. Oscar Gonzalez with 56 and a receiving touchdown. Josh Bullard with 15 and a receiving touchdown. Defensively, Antonio Johnson leading the way in tackles. No tackles for loss. A half sack between Josh Hines-Allen and Ed Wharton, and 1 interception for Kader Kohu. A revenge game against the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. Let's hop in and see if we can beat them, as we are on the board first. 6-7, 10-6, 10-13, 13-13, 20-13, 27-13, 34-13. That will wrap it up. And we blew out the Baltimore Ravens. This is how the players played. Trevor Lawrence, 217 and 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne, 107 and 2 rushing touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 84 and a touchdown. Josh Bullard, 64 and a touchdown. Defensively, Sergio Estrada leading the team in tackles and TFLs. Tied, though, with Travon Walker and Quentin Holloway. 3 sacks from Travon Walker, 1 from Marcus DeBose, and Tyson Campbell with the lone interception. Now we've made it to the Super Bowl. Let's see who we're playing. Oh, and we have to play the Philadelphia Eagles, a tough one. But before we do that, we are going to hop in and see the yearly awards, as Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP with Trevor Lawrence on the list for the first time at 7. This is crazy. Bryce Young with the Saints in the MVP running. Coach of the year going to Matt LaFleur again. We are at the 2 spot. Offensive player of the year, ETN is at 3 and Trevor Lawrence is at 8. Defensive player of the year, Travon Walker is at 10. Chase Young went to the Chargers. Interesting. Oh, we have Marquise Toon at 4 as well. I didn't see that at first. Offensive rookie of the year, Bullard is at 3 and Connor Bryant is at 5. Defensive rookie of the year, we have nobody on the list. Best quarterback, Trevor Lawrence at 2. Best running back goes to Travis Etienne. Best wide receiver, we are sadly not on the list. Best offensive lineman, Frank Ragnow is at 6. Best defensive lineman, Travon Walker at 4 and Josh Hines-Allen at 9. Best linebacker, we are not on the list. Best defensive back, Marquise Toon at the 2 spot. Best kicker, Little at 10. We also want to take a look at the depth traits we got going into the Super Bowl because we will lose some if they were gained. Travis Etienne going up to superstar, X Factor. Nothing else on the offense. Defensively, Marquise Toon finally going up to star dev. And nothing else really to speak of. Let's hop into this Super Bowl, see if we can take down the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go to the end of the game as we are on the board first, but Philly strikes right back. So do we though. 14-7, 21-7, 21-10, 28-10. 28-17, 35-17. That should do it. 42-17, 42-24. The Jacksonville Jaguars are your Super Bowl champs in year 4. We still have another whole year to go. And the 2027 season recap, the Jacksonville Jaguars win the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence winning Super Bowl MVP. Oh, Doug Peterson did win Coach of the Year. The Super Bowl must have changed it. The question is, we definitely accept Nick Fields' option. Do we bring back Andre Sisco? We got $63 million. I think we do it. It's a long deal. We're only going one more year. We still have $50 million left. Let's get to the free agency. We got $50 million. All right, this is who we're targeting. Terrion Arnold and Kingsley Suamatia. Let's see. Did I just... No, that's what I wanted. I accepted a different deal. Let's see who we get. We get both, adding to this team in ways that are needed. We're going to get to the draft now. All right, we're at the draft. We're going and trading up with Dallas. So let's do that before the draft starts. That does it. I don't really care about next year's picks. This is our last year. So let's get to pick 30. We're going to pick a receiver. We need another receiver. Welcome to Jacksonville, Devontae Higgins. Ranked at 12. Got him at 30. Hidden dev. 97 speed at 5'11". We got another weapon. You know what? We're going to go DJ Kaplan. He's a round 2-3 talent. We're probably going to move him to middle linebacker. He's a great athlete. Ranked at 71. Hidden dev. Yeah, he's getting moved to middle linebacker. All right, Doug O'Neill. He looks electric. It's round 3. It's a kicker. I don't really care. He's a round 1 talent. Ranked at 18. Hidden dev kicker. All right, it is draft recap time. Let's take a look at our players and how we did. We got 3 hidden devs. Devontae Higgins is a 76 overall, DJ Kaplan a 71, and Doug O'Neill, the kicker, a 75. Some other players to plug and play. We're going to go ahead and make DJ Kaplan a middle linebacker. All right, this is the team going into year 5. We're moving Redding up to left guard because Ezra Cleveland's just going to decline. We brought in Kingsley Suamatia, Frank Ragnow, of course, Vickers at the right guard, Harrison developing good enough, Gonzalez we drafted, Trevor Lawrence up to an 89, Travis Etienne a 90, Brian Thomas Jr. an 88. Javier Waters an 80. Bullard we drafted last year at a 78. Higgins is already up to a 78, so he'll probably get the start over him. Defensively, we know what the defense is, right? You got Travon Walker, Farrell, Hines, Allen on the defensive line. Harris we drafted last year at right outside. Kaplan, a rookie this year that is superstar dev at middle linebacker 2. Ivan Pace at middle linebacker 1. Nick Fields, Campbell, Toon, and Terrion Arnold all at the cornerback spots. Antonio Johnson, of course, the superstar dev. Strong safety, Andre Sisco, the star dev free safety. All right, Trevor Lawrence, 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Travis Etienne, 478, 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 537 touchdowns. Gonzalez with 307 and 5. Bullard with 251 and 4. Javier and Higgins not really doing much. Defensively, Ivan Pace leading the way in tackles. Travon Walker in TFLs and in sacks with 4.5. 2 from Mike Farrell. Josh Hines Allen really falling off. And only 3 interceptions. 1 from Arnold, 1 from Toon, and 1 from Antonio Johnson. We are currently 3-4. I don't know what's going on. We're 90 overall. I'm going to go week by week and see what I can do to get this team to win games. But we will see y'all at the playoffs unless something important happens. All right, we are at the end of year 5. Trevor Lawrence, 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Travis Etienne with 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Brian Thomas finally breaking that 1,000-yard mark and 11 touchdowns. Defensively, Ivan Pace leading the team in tackles. Travon Walker in TFLs. And Travon Walker in sacks with 11.5. Mike Farrell right behind him with 8. And Josh Hines Allen with 7.5. 2 picks for Terrion Arnold, 2 for Marquise Toon, and 2 for Antonio Johnson. You'd like to see more out of Toon, though. We did finish the year 10-7 and make the playoffs. We won our division barely. Got the tiebreaker over Houston, though. We could have been the 1 seed so easily. I don't know why we lost games. Scored a lot of points. Let's hop in. Make sure we beat this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, or not the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Pittsburgh Steelers still have Justin Fields, but is it enough to take down the team we've built here in Jacksonville? Let's find out as we go to the end of the game. As we are on the board first, only with 3 though, 10-0, 17-0. 24-0, 24-8. Oh, they went for 2. 31-8. That will probably do it. 23-31. Okay. I said it a little early, I thought, but we do win 23-31 as Trevor Lawrence went for 369, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. ETN 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr., 125 and a touchdown. Josh Bullard, 99 and a touchdown. Oscar Gonzalez, 45 and a touchdown. Defensively, Travon Walker led the team in tackles and TFLs technically. 1 sack for DeMarcus Harris and a half sack for Travon Walker and Mike Harrell and 0 interceptions. Let's get to the divisional round, see who we play. The divisional round calls for a divisional opponent. We are slightly better, but the same record. Let's see if we can take down the Houston Texans. We are going to the end of the game. Let's see what happens as Houston is on the board first, but we tie it up really quick. And then we take the lead 14-10, 17-10. We turn the ball over. Let's get it going. 21-17. Keep your foot on the gas offense. 24-17, 31-17. That will do it in this divisional round of the playoffs as we take down the Houston Texans. Trevor Lawrence had 351 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception in this divisional round win.
And Travis Etienne with 53 rushing yards, 0 rushing touchdowns. Gonzalez with 96 and a touchdown. Javier Waters with 70 and a touchdown. And Josh Bullard with 20 and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Estrada leading the team in tackles. Cisco and Trevon Walker tied in TFLs. Trevon Walker with the lone sack and Tyson Campbell with the interception. And another divisional round opponent in the Indianapolis Colts at 10-7, making their way all the way down in the playoffs at an 85 overall. Let's see if we can hop in and take this Indianapolis Colts team down. We're going to the end of the game. Indianapolis is on the board first. We do tie it 7-7, 14-7, 14-14, 14-17. Can we get back on the board, please, offense? You know what? We're just going to jump to where we play the offense now. That way we're not at a huge disadvantage. Because our offense, for whatever reason, in simulation, is absolute donkey. You know what? This team sucks. Is that Jack Gibbons, the linebacker? Is he just demolishing this team? Yeah, that's what I thought. Get mossed. Get mossed. The RPOs don't work as well in this game as they do college football. Let that be known. All right. 3rd and 13. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. If I don't get this, the fit I'm going to fucking throw for losing to Indianapolis again. There you go. Don't go out of bounds. Keep the clock running. We did not. There we go. We got the first down, though, there with Brian Thomas Jr. on 4th and 36. We're going to try to keep the play clock rolling. I kind of want this to be the last drive. Second and 3. Oh, we got an injury timeout for our player. Oh, okay, he's no longer in. Get the first down. That's okay. This is going to the 2-minute warning. I have to be aware, though, because when we get under a minute, we really have to just turn shoot clock off. Third and 1. We're going to run it here. 33 seconds left on the clock. I'm tempted to run it again. We still have 2 timeouts. But I'm going to wait. We can let this clock tick a bit. All right, 10 seconds left on the clock. And we are going to run in with 8 seconds left on the clock. And that will do it for this AFC Championship game against Indianapolis, as we are barely able to squeeze a win in. We did have to hop in there more than I thought we should have. We're a 91 overall team. Trevor Lawrence, 281 and a touchdown. Etienne with 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Brian Thomas, 128. Javier Waters with the lone touchdown. Defensively, do we have any sacks? A sack for DeMarcus Harris, a sack for Josh Allen, and a sack for Trevon Walker. And a pick for Terrion Arnold. I know I skipped over that quick. I don't care. Let's get to the Super Bowl. And we have to play the 9-8, 86 overall Detroit Lions. Let's take a look at the yearly awards, as we are not in the MVP shortlist. Coach of the Year, we are at 9. Offensive Player of the Year, Trevor Lawrence at 10. Defensive Player of the Year, Travon Walker at 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Higgins at 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year, not on the list. Best Quarterback, Trevor Lawrence is at 5. Best Running Back, ETN at 7. Best Wide Receiver, Brian Thomas at 7. Best Offensive Line, Frank Ragnow at 4. Best Defensive Line, we are not on the list. Best Linebacker, we are not on the list. Best Defensive Back, we are not on the list. And Best Kicker, we are at 4 with Mr. Doug O'Neill. Let's hop into this Super Bowl, see if we can take down the Detroit Lions. All right, we're going to the end of the game, as we are on the board first and second, 10-0. And 17-0. 20-0. Let's keep building on that. 27-0. That will do it. We shut out the Lions in our second Super Bowl in a row in year 5. In the Super Bowl, the Lions had Derek Drew, a basic name with 2 interceptions. Not to focus on that. But Trevor Lawrence, 209 and 2 touchdowns. ETN with 71 yards, 0 touchdowns. Connor Bryant, the tight end, with a rushing touchdown on 1 attempt for 1 yard. Javier Waters, 71 yards, leading the way, but Gonzalez with a touchdown and 40, and Josh Bullard with a touchdown and 25. Defensively, Josh Allen with 2 sacks, Travon Walker with 1, Mike Farrell with 1.5 for Sergio Estrada and DeMarcus Harris. Marquise Toon and Nick Fields both with interceptions apiece. Let's get to next week. We'll take a look at the Super Bowl MVP and the roster. As the Jacksonville Jaguars win their second Super Bowl in a row, Trevor Lawrence gets his second Super Bowl MVP in a row and wins his second in a row. Nobody would have thunk it. Let's take a look, one last look at the roster before we move on, as we are 91 across the board. Trevor Lawrence winning his second Super Bowl MVP and his second Super Bowl. Nobody would have thought it would have happened. Travis Etienne regressing a lot. Brian Thomas Jr. up to a 92. Javier Waters up to an 84. Devontae Higgins up to an 83. The offensive line is in a really good spot. Gonzalez getting the upgrade to superstar dev is awesome. Defensively, Josh Allen Hines loses his dev trait. Farrell remains a star at an 87 overall. Travon Walker developing nicely. We have 3 lockdown corners in Marquise Toon, Terrion Arnold, and Tyson Campbell, all over an 85 overall. Antonio Johnson has been awesome in the strong safety role. Nick Fields, our right outside linebacker, has been great. Kaplan lost his superstar, went down to star. But we have 2 solid middle linebackers. Harris at the right outside linebacker spot. We could use an upgrade, but he is serviceable. And Andre Cisco playing at an 88 overall star dev. This team it's a really good team. This would be the best Jacksonville Jaguars team in the history of Jacksonville Jaguars teams. But that will do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, again, be sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, as we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Leave a comment down below of a team, your favorite team that you want to see rebuilt if I haven't rebuilt them already. And if I have, If you commented, I'll do it again. Until next time, have a good one.